look yoked right now. I bet you didn't expect that. Your favorite day trading YouTuber is also yoked. Look at that freaking side delt. That chest. Look at those traps. Anyways, I thought I was going to be making this video yesterday, but I did not take any trades yesterday just because price action kind of sucked and I didn't find anything for my strategy, and I'm not going to force anything. So this video is kind of off the dome ski. I want this video to be pretty quick because I really want to play Oblivion Remastered. I've been waiting on an Elder Scrolls game, a Bethesda game, for quite some time, and we got it. So I'm trying to make this quick so I can play that. But let's go over where we're at with our trading combine. The long story short is that we passed it. I'll refresh here just in case there's anyone who's skeptical. You can see here that we're on an Express Funded account now. We started it today, April 24th. That's weird. It's the 23rd today. Maybe it starts tomorrow, but we'll see. Maybe because trading day's over in New York time. But let's go to the account that we actually passed it on. You can see here that we hit our profit goal. Also, this is weird because it wanted me to hit this consistency target because my best day was 4,600. But weird, whatever. We passed the account is the long story short. We had one losing day, which was the first day that we started on the account. We got a free reset, which is really cool that we used. And then you can see here, it was just up, up, up. It only took 3 winning days to pass the combine. In this video, I want to go over every single trade that I took. You can see here that we had a winning day percentage of 80. We had a win rate of 76%, average RR of 1 to 1.5. I'm not sure how this math works out, that our average... it's because it also includes our break-evens. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, we're going to go over every single trade that we took, not including break-even trades, because I could not be asked to remember all of my break-even trades. But let's start from the very top. I'm going to include my one loss as well, just because I think that it's good to go over why we lost that trade and, things of that nature. I think it's this day. Yes. Okay. So this was the day I started this combine. It was Wednesday, the 16th of April. We completed a total of technically 5 trading days, but I only traded on 4 of those days. The reason I lost this trade in my mind is because I just wasn't paying attention to order flow. I tried to take a long when order flow on higher time frames was clearly long. Or excuse me, I tried to take a long when order flow on higher time frames was clearly short. I think this is actually a good setup if order flow is bullish. What we had on the 5-minute is a 5-minute order block created with these 2 candles. Where's the paintbrush? How do I do that again? Here. These 2 candles here create that order block. Move down, a big displacement up. And then we see retracement into that order block. And we also have an inversion. Or this is another reason I lost this trade. I thought we had inverse to this fair value gap, but it ended up dipping down. So we ended up getting filled on a limit order. This was just a bad trade. I'm just going to be honest. This was just a horrible trade. I was excited to trade on the new account. I was excited to make the video, passing a combine in 2 trades. My psychology got the best of me, and we ended up taking this is just a textbook losing trade. The fair value gap never actually inversed. So if this was just flipped, this was actually a really, really good setup. It would have been a near zero drawdown trade. We could have easily binked, the 1 to 1.2, which is kind of my sweet spot lately. But yeah, that's the one losing trade that we took throughout this whole video. We were 4 for 5 from the field, if you will. And another thing to mention is I'm just going to kind of breeze through this. The next video that I'm planning on dropping is going to be something to the effect of, this is the exact strategy I use to pass combines in, a week or something like that. But that was trade number 1 that we took. This was the losing trade, which also influences the next day because we ended up taking 2 trades for very specific reasons. So at this point, my maximum drawdown limit was 1,500 because if you're not familiar with Top Step rules, the maximum drawdown on the account, aka the most you can lose in a day, is 3,000, and the most you can lose on the account is 1,500. The way that I trade combines, I want to pass them as soon as I possibly can. So I risked 3,000 that first day, lost, and now my maximum that I could risk is 1,500. So that's what we did for this first trade here. We took an even 1-to-1 so I could get $3,000 to trade with. And then, I don't think this is correct. I think I put this in we're going to find out. But so this first trade that we took, we risked 1,500. Order flow for the day was bearish. This was just an easy day to trade. Order flow was clearly bearish. We make this really big displacement to the downside, which we end up retracing back into on the 5-minute. And then on the 1-minute, we make a fair value gap that we inverse. And this is basically all that I entered on the first trade, was just the fact that I knew the market wanted to go lower because of this fair value gap inversion and also overall order flow. So we banked that first trade to get to 3,000. I think this actually is correct. I think I just also only risked 1,500 by mistake, if I'm remembering correctly from the trade that I took. Because again, this was about a week ago now. But anyways, the second trade was also pretty simple. We used the order block for our entry. We had a little bit of drawdown, but then it was clear trend downwards. And then we used the CISD on the 5-minute as confirmation that we could hold this position, which is where I then moved my stops to break even because I knew that we want to trend lower after the 5-minute CISD. Again, pretty textbook. I think there could have been a little bit more confluence, but overall with general order flow on higher time frames, being 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute, and then the 1-minute order block and the 5-minute CISD, I think this trade plays out more often than not, especially if you move your stops to break even. But that was Tuesday's trade that we took, or excuse me, Thursday's trade that we took. And again, to all my fellow Christians out there, it was Good Friday, so we did not trade on Friday. The next day that we took a trade was on Monday because I do not personally trade PM session. What did we do on this day? This was another really easy day just because of overall market structure being very bearish. Coming into the market, we created a 5-minute order block, which was part of my entry. Again, I had a short bias and we got a essentially zero drawdown trade on this trade. We risked $3,000 and we used this 1-minute fair value gap to enter on when we punched in right here. And that's basically all there was to it. We had a 5-minute order block that we retraced into. Where's my entry within the order block? Well, it's going to be an area where price has not been filled. So we set up our limit order after the 5-minute candle closed just for confirmation. And then we retraced into this 1-minute fair value gap, got a very close to zero drawdown trade. And then I forget what this marked out. I think this was a 5-minute CISD. Oh, I marked this out because I was like, maybe I hold this position a little bit longer. But again, I didn't really feel the need to. We made $3,600. I was actually reviewing why I took this trade a second ago. But yeah, again, pretty simple. You'll see it's a lot of order blocks, a lot of fair value gaps. We're just risking a lot. And then Tuesday, we did not trade because price action just sucked. You can see here the only thing that I found was a 15-minute order block that I was looking at for a little bit. But let's go over today's trade, which I'll be able to remember a lot more vividly because I took them today. So I took 2 trades today. The reason being is that I thought that I had to make a little bit more because I had that $4,600 day. So I thought I had to make this extra $100 or something. So let's talk about, oh wait, no, that's not why actually. The reason why is because I got a really shitty fill on my first trade. This should have just been a 1 trade day, but I got a really, really bad fill. So coming into the market, we had a bullish, again, you can just see here that we're just bullish on the 5-minute, 15-minute, hour, 4-hour, we're all bullish. And then coming into the market, we had a 1-hour order block, which I thought we were going to maybe tap into. And then I saw that we had tapped into it right before market open. And then we continued going higher, which to me, I was like, all right, cool. That's extra confirmation that price is going to want to go higher. And then right before market opened, we inversed this 5-minute fair value gap. So again, we had bullish order flow on higher time frames. We tapped into a 1-hour order block and continued higher. And then we also inversed a 5-minute fair value gap to the upside. So with that being said, I essentially just hit buy right when the market opened. And because of that, I got a pretty boo-boo fill. I wanted to enter at the top of this fair value gap right here, but by the time my trade had processed, it was somewhere in this range right here. I didn't end up moving my stop loss or my take profit. I just left it where it was. I let the trade ride, and we ended up actually getting out at the perfect time. This is completely coincidence that we ended up basically top ticking this and then going straight down to our stop loss. So we took that trade, profited about 20. Oh goodness, how much was it? And we're going into the day, we're at 155.1, and then I wish I could remember the exact amount. Oh wait, I can. What am I talking about? Oh, never mind. I cannot look. I thought I could. Anyways, we ended up just kind of being patient. I didn't really want to rush anything, and then we had a market structure shift to the downside on higher time frames. You can see here that I entered this trade right before 11 o'clock because I had a feeling that, excuse me, that price was going to break on the 1 hour. So let's actually look at that really quickly. So I entered this trade. Where the hell are we? Here we are. Okay. So this is where I entered the short. You can see here that we had this low right here. And I was like, okay, if we close underneath this low right here, let me get rid of this. If we close underneath this low, this will be a market structure shift on the 1 hour. So 1 hour market structure shift was something I was anticipating was going to happen. And then I just looked at what other confluences do I have. So we looked at the 5 minute. No, it's 5 month. Whoops. Where the hell are we? Here we are. So this trade was also pretty simple because of the fact that we had already closed underneath this 1 hour order block, intentionally, essentially disrespecting it. So what I was looking for was retracement before this 1 hour candle opened at 11 o'clock, which is where we banked our take profit. So where was my entry here? That's a good question. Where was my entry? What did I enter on exactly? What was the reason for me marking this out? Oh, this was the bottom of that wick right here, which actually was a data low. Oh, was it a data low? I don't remember. Excuse me, I'm on the spot here. I'm not editing anything. But there was this low right here that I was targeting as my entry for whatever reason. Just looked good, and ended up fucking top ticking this, and then it's just straight down into our take profit. So I just wanted to review all the trades that I took to again pass my combine in. We traded for we traded 4 days, 4 trading days, and we passed a combine. The title of this video is probably going to be something to the effect of how I passed my Top Step combine in 4 trades or something. The next video that I'm going to post is going to be an in-depth breakdown of my strategy. I also do plan on doing daily trade recaps with the XFA because I want to show you guys the road to a payout. Now, one last thing, I've been kind of throwing in little tips at the end here. The reason I was able to pass this account so quickly was because of risk management. I wasn't just full porting for no reason. The reason that I took the trades that I took and leveraged the amount that I did is because I do not care about the $150 reset fee on a Top Step account. I just want to pass the account as soon as possible. Now, my risk, I'm going to lower dramatically. I'm going to go from risking $3,000 per trade to risking only $700 per trade, which is about 0.5% of the account. So I want you to keep that in mind. That's a really big part of passing combines, and I do recommend that. If you have a winning strategy, again, my strategy proved in this combine. I had a 73% win rate, average RR of 1 to 1.5. That's a winning strategy. I should feel confident enough in my edge to risk maximum daily drawdown on every trade during a combine. And now that I'm in an XFA, I don't want to say I feel more confident because I already knew that I had a winning strategy. But now I certainly know that with reducing my risk, I guarantee a payout, which is just really cool for me to be able to say. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. It was kind of just a really, really big ramble. But again, next video is going to be an in-depth breakdown of my strategy. So make sure you stick around for that. With that being said, see you in the next one.